Good morning. Welcome everybody to Fellowship of Spirit on this beautiful Sunday, August 23rd of 2026. And we would love to welcome the Little Trees and Wendy. And oh my gosh, it's so good to see you guys. It brings back such fond memories. Anyway, welcome Mark and Susan. And let me see where we are here this morning. I was gone to Denver for the last week, and so I missed you all, but I caught Mark's talk on YouTube, and I was so impressed with it. I really was. For those of you that don't know, we are shutting down fellowship after next Sunday, August 30th. Fellowship will be no more in this capacity, and we will be selling the building. It has been a beautiful experience for me. I have loved every moment of every person in this building through the years, the people who have come and stayed and gone. And I welcome all of you to carry on with your life in the very best way that you can, knowing that God would have us love everyone and that there would be no fear and no anger and no judgment of other people. So please remember what you've gathered here at Fellowship and take it with you in the rest of your life. Thank you all very much. I love you all, and I'm so glad to have known you all in my lifetime. It's been very important. Thank you. Okay, we have I better read the mission statement because there's very few times left I can do this. Our mission is to positively affect our world by extending peace, love, spirituality, understanding, and friendship to all people with grace and gratitude. Our vision is to be the spiritual center of awakening the I Am Christ consciousness and carry that with you always. You can be the center. It doesn't have to be in a building. You can be the center. Just share what you know and other people will see it in you. Okay, and we have a prelude by Shay, I Am Love. Did I get that wrong?
No, I don't remember, so
This one is,
Life is the Living.
Yes.
Okay. And this is in 178 in the Brown hymnal. I am love, 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 pure love. I am light, 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 pure light. I am peace, 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 pure peace. I am joy, 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 pure joy. I am love, 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 pure love.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shay. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. If our wonderful Susan would provide us with an opening prayer, I would be very happy.
Of course. So, on this wonderful, beautiful day that we have been gifted with, let us close our eyes, take a deep breath, and feel that God, that love energy flowing into your crown chakra, flowing down to every cell, every atom of your being. Creator, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for all the beautiful things that are around us. The clouds, the sky, the birds, the very air we breathe, all the animals. And we give thanks for each other, for having been able to spend special moments with each one of us. We give thanks this day for our good health and know that all of those who were part of the fellowship in the past and who have moved to the next dimension are still there. Their energy still exists and is part of what we are doing now. Let us feel their love. We give thanks for our good health, for our ability to think, to ask questions. We give thanks for the peace that surrounds us, for the joy, for the laughter, all of things that are good. And we give thanks also for all the opportunities that we have that may be in the form of, it seems, obstacles. And yet these obstacles are actually just guiding us to a new way of perceiving, to a new way of experiencing all that we can in this life in a good and positive way. And so for all of these things, for your love, for your light, for your joy, we truly give thanks. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Susan. Okay, and we have a song, How Can I Keep From Singing? And this is in your binder.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear that music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When triumphs tremble when they hear the bells of freedom singing. When friends rejoice, both far and near, how can I keep from singing? In prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? I lift mine eyes, the clouds grow thin, I see the blue above it, and day by day this pathway moves, which since I first to love it. The peace I find makes calm my heart, a fountain ever springing. All things are mine, since I know love. How can I keep from singing?
Wow.
I want you all to know that even though Shay is giving us up, she's going to start back with Caliente. And so at any point that you see any of the Caliente concerts, know that you know Shay is in there and sharing her beautiful voice with everybody. We're very happy for her. Okay. If you would join with me, repeating our reflective moment. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. And that's another one of those things take with you in your heart and share with everybody you meet, and they will see you in love, and you will see them in love. Okay, we have a spiritual energy treatment with Kate.
I'm having trouble with the camera though.
Oh,
It won't go any farther to the right.
did I mess it up by moving it? Because I moved it a while ago. Okay, now see if it'll behave itself now. Okay. Okay.
All right. Just want to welcome our guests here today. So happy to see everyone.
Yes, we are.
And I'm going to change up my spiritual treatment just a little bit. It's kind of going to be kind of finish or alongside what Susan started. So we're just going to breathe normally. I don't want you to take any deep breaths or anything. Just want you to start breathing and start noticing your breath. And what a glorious gift that we're able to inhale and exhale. It's divine and it's lovely. And as you breathe in and breathe out, it sometimes helps to put your hand on your heart. But we're going to just breathe in and breathe out love to every person in our community and in our families and friends, situations in the community, situations in the world, and even in our universe. So as we breathe in love and exhale love, we're sending it out to every situation, every person, anything that needs our divine love flowing from our hearts. And those who are open and ready to receive are receiving all the love that we send out right now to all those who are open to receiving. Okay. And now we're just going to take a nice deep breath in and out. Thank you so much for sending love and energy to our people in need.
Thank you, Kate. Wonderful words. Thank you very much. Okay, and I believe we have a spiritual energy reading, a spiritual reading. Does anybody have one? We did not come prepared today? Okay. Okay, she does. I like this one. Count to 10. This is in the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, it's all small stuff. When I was growing up, my father used to count as very loud, out loud to 10 when he was angry, and with my sisters and me also. It was a strategy, and he and many other parents used to cool down before deciding what to do next, which sometimes wasn't always a good thing in my house. I've improved this strategy by incorporating the use of the breath. All you have to do is this. When you feel yourself getting angry, take a long, deep inhalation, and as you do, say the number 1 to yourself. Then relax your entire body as you breathe out. Repeat this same process with number 2, all the way to at least 10. If you're really angry, continue to 25. What you're doing here is clearing your mind with a mind version of a meditation experience. Combination of counting and breathing is so relaxing that it's almost possible to remain angry once you are finished. The increased oxygen in your lungs and the time gap between the moments you became angry and the time you finished the exercise enable you to increase your perspective. It helps make big stuff look like little stuff. The exercise is equally effective in working with stress or frustration. Whenever you feel a little off, give it a try. And so that's my words of wisdom to you. And it does work, so give it a try. It's been helpful to me in many ways. I've had a terrible temper most of my life until I hit about 60, and for some reason it just went away once I hit 60. And I really honestly believe it had to do with fellowship. I really do. It taught me to quit being so controlling and judgmental. And by giving up those two things, I don't get upset that much anymore. And it's easier for me to say, well, you know what? These things are meant to be. You deal with them. Even the hard stuff. Even the hard stuff. Anyway, we have another song, and I'm sorry I don't remember which one this one is. I didn't write it in mine. But I believe
It's 195.
195 in your
Life
book.
is for living. Life is for living. Whatever you will live for, you will give. Life is for giving. Whatever you will give to life will live. Life is for doing, for giving, doing, turning how. Life is for you, and life is for me. Life is for living now. Life is for loving. Whatever you will love, enough is yours. Life is for sharing. Whatever you will share with others grows. Life is for living now. Life is for living now.
She has the most angelic voice.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, she does. Anyway, would like to welcome our dear Susan, who is going to talk to us again about Gnosticism and see if she can enlighten us just a little bit more about this. I'm never sure about it. But please welcome Susan Barnes from Belize, Central America.
I guess that always sounds so funny to me that I'm so far away and yet I'm so
Not.
close to you at this point in time. Um, so, Jerry, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do the last services for fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
Because as Mark reminded me, I'm the last of all of those of us who started this back in 92. And so I don't even, well, I know that I've learned a lot, I've grown a lot, and there's still a lot more in life to do. So, I know that Ian had talked to you about the Gnostic philosophy. And so when I was digging further into this belief system, it appears that what we call Gnosticism came from not just Christianity, but it's the mystery schools of Egypt, and even more remotely from Sumeria. And then if we go back further, even more remotely from Atlantean culture. So the question is, where did Yeshua go between the ages of 12 and 30? Well, what if he went to Egypt to study at the mystery schools? Or what if he went to India and Tibet to study Buddhism? And what if he came back to what is now Israel to teach Gnosticism, not Catholicism, not even what we call Christianity, but Gnosticism? So there's been so many changes in civilizations, and it's affected every other part of our life, not just the history, but so many other things. And now there's an increasing amount of mistrust in a lot of institutions. And there's also growing interconnections through technology, which is what we're experiencing right now, is that I can actually talk to you and be part of this group, which is incredible. And a lot of people that we're running into are seeking a spiritual connection as to who are they truly. And we're experiencing feelings of alienation, often with what society is, and we're looking for answers. And we're looking for authentic experiences. So we're looking into these things. And so the other day, I had no idea what I was going to be talking about. And I had someone walk into the office and they gave me this book. It was called The Gnostic Code. And I said, oh, this was to me God's way of saying, talk more about Gnosticism. And then that person sat there and Ian was there and So we started talking, and it was so incredible, the depth of our conversation and how we could all feel connected. So if we go through the historical records, we find that no matter what happens to an individual, their mind always seeks to find the truth or something authentic, absolute, creating a situation where they can never be totally free from a constant outside demand too. So we're looking at the mystery schools right now. So that's what Gnosticism actually is. It was an outgrowth of the mystery schools. And this is part of that understanding, is that due to the understanding that there is suffering, but it's things that arise and that we need to go through in our life. But it also means that we have been unwilling to look within ourselves for the answer, that we seem to want to seek outside. But it is within our own minds that we find that connection to the divine. So let's consider a person who goes through a spiritual crisis, and they would react defensively, and they may even grasp tighter to the external form of their lives. And they would have a very hard time of letting things go in that external form. However, when we go through this growth, then oftentimes a deeper spiritual path emerges. Then we can feel that whatever was meaningless to us before, we can go into meaningless, and also the ones that our society has put on to us, of hellfire and brimstone, and there's no salvation except through the church or a certain belief. So initiates of the mystery schools of Gnosticism, they would identify this pattern, and that they knew that to be human is not just to go through this life, but they're clinging to and pushing away from the universe, with the pushing away from the divinity, with their expectations of how we want to be saved through an external force, whatever. So the teachings from the mystery school represent a body of teaching that provides a framework for us to, as human beings, to understand who we are, and that we are conscious beings engaged in a never-ending quest for truth. And that this will provide us with a framework for many mental and emotional responses that and different ones too, to any of the hardships that we have experienced during our lifetime. So a lot of this was on the emerald tablets that were created by Thoth, and that's way back in the Atlantean times. And so the master key there was that which is below corresponds to that which is above. just as that what is above corresponds to that which is below. And it sums up all the teachings of Hermeticism, of Gnosticism, according to the Hermetics, of it's the principles as what we really are. We are representatives of the above. And so man and the universe cannot be separated because we are all one. And that's the thing that Gnosticism really teaches. As above, so below, we are one. Okay, so this is not just ancient teaching. This is also coming about in modern physics through the development of what one of the physicists, David Bohm, is saying it is holographic. That a holographic universe states that the entire universe is one gigantic entity, and every single living thing, being, creature contains all of the information that they could create another universe. So if this in a holographic plate, okay, and it's broken, then what happens is that every part of that broken plate contains the wholeness, just as we contain that wholeness of the divine. And so, again, we're going back to as above, so below. What was in the whole is now within us. That every point in time and space embodies the essence of the whole universe. That's us. So, in this, the Emerald Tablets, Thoth has his final line. And it's that which Thoth has said of the operation of the sun is accomplished and ended. So the operation of the sun is the great work, the creation of the golden solar consciousness. That's what we're part of. The knowledge contained within this text, the Emerald text, is revealed to us through Hermes, the Hermeticism, the mystery schools, all of this. This is what they're trying to teach us. Is that it's accomplished and it is ended. Even as now we are coming to the end of fellowship. But is it the end or only a beginning? Oh, wait, that's my next talk. So there are 3 practices for an initiate's mind. So we talk about general things, but this is a way for us to look into it. So the first way, as keeper of the knowledge, so we be mindful of the thoughts that in our mind throughout the course of the day, and how often you view yourself as being inherently flawed, unworthy, or separate from the problems of the universe. This could happen in just a moment of self-criticism, during moments of feeling like you failed at something, or as part of your belief system regarding how you should be punished. And if you notice that you are about to take an action based upon that self-condemnation, you're experiencing what you need to do is pause and to remember this one thing. And this is from the Emerald Tablets. Is it possible that no matter what mistakes that you have made, that I have made, there is still at the core of who I am a pure, unblemished God essence? Can you imagine that? No matter what you're seeing out there, you still have that pure, unblemished God essence within you. So when you stop at that moment and you take a breath and you reflect upon the positive God essence within you, that is the center of who you are and who you're truly practicing the mystery school's teachings. You begin to separate yourself from that self-condemnation of the ego, not of who you really are, just the ego. And you enter into a deeper state of self-compassion. So this practice does not mean that you don't need to grow. It's intended to build your awareness so that you can see the illusion of being unworthy, because that is an illusion. And that you'll release some of this, the hold that this negativity has on you. So we were talking about the initiates, and this is one of their first practices. Why is it that not the knowledge gained at these temples of such importance in today's age of information overload, institutional decay, and the search for true knowledge? What is this? There is the second part, the weighing of the heart practice. So once a day, we need to take a few minutes to reflect on everything that we want to own, and that the amount of time and energy required to acquire it. The idea of weighing of the heart doesn't only have to do with judging or being judged in the afterlife for things, because oftentimes when we're thinking about the weighing of the heart, we're thinking about the afterlife. We need to weigh it now. We don't wait. So you can refer everything that you're doing, the systems of your operation, of your social expectations, your materialistic desires, of everything that you think that you need, okay? So everything that is from an external pressure placed upon you this week, consider asking yourself the following. Am I giving my ultimate allegiance to a flawed, temporary system, or am I remembering my connection to something higher and more enduring, and aligning my heart with truth and justice? So this is one of the fundamental lessons of the mystery schools. We are truly suffering when we fail to recognize that the material world is not our ultimate reality. Remember, we're talking about the holograph. And if you spend time reflecting upon these fleeting things, thoughts, the demands that society has upon us, we can see through the illusion. And that is one way to be successful. And it will allow us to approach life with greater calmness, less reaction, and a greater spiritual freedom. Now, the third one, the third thing for the mystery schools is that they teach that the journey to enlightenment is not simply an intellectual understanding of how to relate to ourselves and others, but how we have to interact with the world around us. So as we go through our daily routines this week, pay attention to that one instance where you would typically have looked at an external authority, a book, a guru, a society requirement, for an answer to a deep personal question, and instead stop and look inward to find the answer, trusting that you have access to the truth within you and that the laws of the universe are reflected in your inner being. You need to cast away any need to seek validation from any outside sources. Look within your heart. So, again, realizing that as above, so below. Search for that. So, although the mystery schools, Gnosticism, offer great possibilities for awakening within, they don't guarantee anything, and that it's going to be easily acceptable to you or to anyone else outside. Oftentimes we find that it's difficult to talk to others about some of the thoughts that have been provided here in fellowship over the past, 34 years. Not everyone will agree with you, and you don't have to try and convert anybody or convince them. The only one that's important is you. So, as a result of our new perspective on life, and that we are facing resistance from others, but we don't have to fear this any longer because we no longer judge ourselves. So, as we go through life, we're going to experience these moments and feel trapped in this material world. However, we still can work on creating this more divine consciousness within ourselves. So let's continue to live in a world that's in a constant state of change, and that we don't have to wait for anybody to save us, and that we can realize it within ourselves because we have that direct connection with God. So it's been thousands of years since the Egyptian mystery schools were at their highest. And they're still relevant, even today. You're still going through a process where you can feel unworthy and you depend upon others. However, we can still have that creation, that spark of light that is hidden within each one of us, part of the hologram. So, this first stage in the mystery school's teaching, those three things that we went over, that we realize, okay, that this world is not perfect, but we can conclude with the belief that there exists within the universe an experience of spiritual courage and boundless inner exploration and a connection to the law of the universe, which is as above, so below. So in today's world where so many people are building walls of dogma and submitting themselves to outside authority, the mystery schools teach us something of a greater value, that it's not common, but it is our truth. And so if you have found a way to remove yourself from a need for a savior, then you have connected yourself to the eternal kingdom of the Creator. And so until next time, namaste.
Thank you, Susan, for more thoughts on Gnosticism. I always wonder why my lack of understanding of Gnosticism has to do, but I think a lot of it has to do with just, I haven't researched it myself very much, but I always welcome your thoughts on it, so thank you very much. Okay, and from there we will, does anybody else have anything they'd like to share with Susan? Nope, okay. From there we're going to a song, The Oneness of Everything.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find the key to nature's harmony, in an architecture so entwined, like the birds whose patterns grace the sky, and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, of the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees, which stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Like the sorrow of the clouds, whose tears fall carrying on the soil undemanding. Lessons of love are given that we might rejoice in the music that they bring, of the oneness of everything.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shay. Okay, at this point, we usually have several other things going on, but we don't have children anymore. They've all grown up. It's ours too. And we're not doing a celebration of abundance because we're shutting down, and so we're going to not need to further the expense of carrying on with all the things that we do. So we're not doing that. And we don't have our Bill here for our closing prayer, for our closing words of wisdom. but I know that he's with us in his heart, and so we welcome his words in the future. Anyway, so there we have it. Thank you very much for being here, Little Trees, and it's so good to see you all. It really is. We have that lovely picture of your mom back there, and
Nice.
that just pleases us so much. Yes? Somebody wanted to say something?
Just know that Carol would be so wonderful to see her family here.
It would.
Very happy.
Well, I'm sure.
Especially since, especially
No.
I think it's Carol's way of blessing.
Yes, I think so. Anyway, it's welcome. It's good to see you all and welcome. And I hope life goes on in a beautiful way for you. Wendy, are you going to move in the house, in her house? Are you? Good. I know it's a work in progress. It's got to be, but congratulations for moving back in our neck of the woods. So I'm sure they'll be happy to have you close by. All right, if you will all join me up here, we will sing our way out. And goodbye to those of you online on Zoom, and we will see you next Sunday for our final Sunday service. Thank you very much for being here.